Drivers are angry, mechanics are insane, the hierarchy is worried about what is going on. Safe to say, Red Bull is falling apart and multiple people are going absolutely insane within the team. Will they be able to turn this around, or are they doomed? Max Verstappen has been seeking change since the British Grand Prix. Things came to a head following the incidents in Hungary, and Helmut Marko allegedly sought to appease him by proposing to replace Sergio Perez with Daniel Ricciardo during the summer break. But Christian Horner stopped this. Verstappen wants Perez to be a rear gunner, and his performance this season has put a strain on their relationship. However, it is not thought that Verstappen has personally informed Red Bull that he wants a replacement partner, and he prefers Daniel Ricciardo above all other drivers. Despite maintaining his position, Checo is furious that he was pressured into signing a contract with so many release clauses, and he feels betrayed that he was kept in the dark about whether he was at risk of losing his seat mid-season. His relationship with Horner has declined as a result. He is well aware that the team might dump him at the end of the season, and his aim for the remaining 9 races is to keep that spot. Daniel Ricciardo is also very upset with how the situation was handled, and has apparently cut communication to all members of the RBR hierarchy, except Marko. This includes Horner, which has irritated the team principal greatly. Both Horner and Marko believe that Ricciardo should be kept by Red Bull, which is made somewhat more problematic by Audi's offer of a multi-year contract. While Daniel had little interest in making the transfer, it has served as strong leverage in his favour, and he will most certainly be assured at least a seat at VCARB in 2025. The team is also working to keep Liam Lawson under contract, despite the possibility that he may not have a seat in the Red Bull family next season. Lawson's clause expires on September the 15th, the day of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and if he is not signed to a Formula One racing seat by that date, he will be free to quit. A loan to Sauber for 2025 is on the table, but he's also been given a multi-year deal and may quit the RB program completely if he wants to. Sauber seems to either pick up Ricciardo or Lawson, or, in the case Perez leaves, no one. But the feeling of betrayal isn't just felt among the drivers, as many of the technicians and engineers at Red Bull are also furious. Many have a major portion of their wages made up by a bonus received if the team wins the Constructors' Championship. They believe that the team's efforts, both on and off the track, were aimed at winning the driver's title, for which they would earn nothing. This is hurting team morale, and some people feel let down by the team. Why would they just let the Constructors' Championship slide? Additionally, it looks that the team will have to find a new race engineer for Sergio Perez. Hugh Bird's paternity leave was scheduled for after Monza, but he took it 2 weeks early, fueling suspicion he may not return. Richard Wood, who has replaced Bird while on leave, would be expected to replace him full-time if he does leave. And to make matters even worse, outsiders are also trying to make waves into the team. This is done by none other than Jos Verstappen. Jos Verstappen has also escalated his agitation behind the scenes, beyond what he was doing at the start of the season. He is seeking change for his son, whether it be a change in driver, an improvement plan, or anything else. Perhaps all three. One thing is sure, Red Bull is a complete mess, and knowing this all makes sense that Verstappen has his doubts about staying with Red Bull. Max Verstappen's concern that something has gone wrong with Red Bull's RB20 are grounded, and explain why the team was testing older specification components at Zandvoort last weekend. Verstappen and teammate Sergio Perez divided floor layouts in an attempt to figure out what's making its 2024 Challenger more difficult to drive in order to assist the squad gather data. However, although attempts are being made to determine whether the substantial floor alteration made at Imola was the cause of its recent troubles versus McLaren and Mercedes, the team is also attempting to gain ground in other aspects of the car. Red Bull came at Zandvoort with a number of minor changes to the RB20, including the restoration of the high downforce side pod and engine cover combination introduced at the Hungarian Grand Prix, which had been removed for high-speed Spa. However, the team did modify the size of the rear cooling vent to better satisfy the needs of the Zandvoort track. This smaller configuration will provide the team more flexibility in its cooling setup in the future races, with the ability to replace the cooling panels on the side of the engine cover to better suit its needs. The new intake is comparable in size to the one used with the old engine cover configuration, but due to the change in bodywork, the outlets cut into the rear quarter panel are also eliminated. In addition, the RB20 received a new set of mirror supports and fins surrounding the cockpit, as the team attempted to make minor changes to the airflow's behavior as it tracked down the vehicle. This was most likely in response to the introduction of the new side pod and engine cover bodywork, which was initially shown in Hungary and then utilized at Zandvoort. The arrangement has also changed, with the horizontal mirror stay no longer merged directly to the mirror housing, which has been modified to accommodate the vertical baffle that now sits between the two surfaces and is likely to shed a stronger vortex downstream over the side pod. The outer vertical stay has also been redesigned, with a shorter arrangement replacing the previously used tail-like solution, which will change how airflow over the side pod's shoulder area behaves. Meanwhile, the canard-style winglet located on the side of the halo has been eliminated. A vertical fin now rests atop the half-crescent upper side pod intake. The winglet is kinked in the top part to match the shape of the halo fairing alongside it. The drivers also chose differing downforce levels for their vehicles at Zandvoort, with Verstappen opting for a greater downforce rear wing arrangement, as he had done in Hungary. Perez, on the other hand, chose less downforce, as they had done in Spa with both cars. Red Bull boss Christian Horner later confirmed that adopting several car setups during the Dutch Grand Prix allowed the team to gather valuable information on their Formula One car. The Austrian team's difficult season continued when F1 returned to Zandvoort last weekend, as McLaren defeated the reigning champions by 22 seconds. Norris's domination resulted in the largest victory margin witnessed this season, confirming McLaren's improved MCL 38 as the fastest car on the grid in recent times. Horner admitted after the race that McLaren had now become the benchmark team, with the distance between them in the Constructors' Championship reduced to 30 points. However, Horner believes Red Bull's decision to experiment with split vehicle specs will help them recover a positive trajectory with the RB20. "I think this weekend we've run the cars in different specifications, and I think that has actually given us quite a lot of valuable info," Horner said. "I think the drivers' feedback has been very positive into that as well, in terms of what they're feeling from the different setups. It hopefully now gives a real direction for the engineering group." Verstappen's car has the same flaw that he used to win multiple races earlier this season, while teammate Sergio Perez had an upgraded version. Despite finishing 16 seconds behind his teammate in 6th, Horner claims that the Mexican demonstrated that the upgraded components did not result in a backward step. "I think it was clear that Checo's race performance and race package got the better of the two," he said. "But we've got obviously 72 laps of data and a lot across 2 different compounds of tyres now to compare that info." Horner stated that Verstappen's lead over Norris was not indicative, since Red Bull's decision to run a larger loaded rear wing expecting significant degradation backfired. Asked whether minimal running earlier in the weekend due to the rain contributed to Red Bull's woes, Horner responded, "It made us take a few risks. Probably with hindsight, we wouldn't have gone in with as much downforce as we put on. We have had a few more long-run knowledge, but it's the same for everybody. But we've actually taken some very useful information out of the weekend. And I think there's 144 laps worth of data for the engineers to be poring over." What do you think? Has this really helped Red Bull? And will they be able to get their internal stuff in order? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.